Hey, what's up, guys? This is Dr. Chris Collier at Elite Chiropractic and Performance. We're up here on a beautiful Saturday, kind of running through some different rehab protocols. I got Ian here, so he's our dummy patient for the day. Not that he's a dummy or anything, but he is a patient. So, one thing that I find very common is that when we give exercises or people go work out, they have a hard time feeling the exercises where they should. And if you're coming to me and you're like, I do all these deadlifts and man, my back is just so sore and tight with the deadlifts. Like, do you feel it in your glutes and hamstrings? No, I don't feel that at all. You're probably not doing the exercise correctly. So it's crucial. It's not that you have to feel it exactly where we want, but when you do feel it in the areas that are needed, that means you're at least recruiting those muscles to do what you want. So what we're going to do today is kind of go over some of the scapular stuff. So a lot of times when we're doing back exercises or anything with the shoulder, people have a hard time engaging the scapular muscles and then in turn some of the other muscles that contribute to the movement. So when you're doing a lot of work in that region, your upper traps are feeling really tight or they're feeling like they're a little bit sore, you're probably overworking them too much. It's just another reason why most of us hold our stress there. There's always reasons for these things. So we're going to go over some DNS positional things to try to get him to feel it where we want. Okay, so we're going to start with the 3-month prone position, which at 3 months, while the baby's on their belly, they start to learn how to engage the shoulder joint with the scapula. They learn how to extend the head and build a cervical curve, and then activate some of these muscles called the deep neck flexors. So what he's going to do first is he's going to work his breathing and his intra-abdominal pressure, basically getting a lot of air into the canister, and he's going to try to maintain that. So when we do this exercise, from here down, we don't want any activity. So I don't want hamstrings going, I don't want glutes going, I want the low back muscles relatively quiet. From here, he's going to kind of have head down here, and we're gonna bring his chest up, good, and then his head up into this position. So the goal is he's pushing off elbows and he's gaining support via the pubic symphysis in the front of his pelvis here. From here, I can tell in this position, he's really engaging a lot of his upper trap and levator muscles because I can feel it all around the side of his neck here. So some simple cues, at first, I'm just going to rotate his shoulder into position of joint centration. So we're all in internal rotation all day. So we're gonna rotate him here, and I'm gonna help approximate that head of the humerus here into the joint itself. And then from there, you can feel it kind of shuts down all of these muscles. After that, we'll start engaging the scap in some ways. So I'll have him go ahead and resist me here. Don't let me move you, don't let me move you. Keep holding positions here. And this is all pretty much all the way off, which is what we want. Now he'll tell you he probably feels it, rotator cuff here, and then scap. And then what we're gonna do is get chin tucked, and I'm going to start to apply some pressure in between shoulder blades and then the head. So now we're getting the deep neck flexors going. I'm applying a little bit of pressure to his thoracic spine. So now he's got no choice but to support correctly through here. So at this point, we're getting a lot of the activation. His pecs aren't doing a whole lot, which is what we want. Low back's probably a little bit too overworked right now, which is part of the issue we're working on with him. And these are relatively quiet, which is okay. Glutes, not so much, but we can't fix everything in one day, as I'll tell you. So go ahead and take a break here. So this is a really good way to just, for one, practice good breathing around the canister here to get some good activation around the shoulder blade and shoulder region, and then also to help with cervical head posture. Now, obviously, he wasn't doing so well on the right side. I would kind of flip over, we would challenge that, we'd get him to feel what we want on the right side, but we're gonna skip to the next one. So let's go into quadruped. Now we're just kind of working our way up the developmental sequence here, and basically in quadruped, we're around like 8 to 9-ish months maybe, and we're starting to work in our crawling pattern. So it's the same thing here. So I want a good straight spine. These are all things you can do at home. And same thing, so I'm gonna get a little bend in the elbows, and like I did before, I rotated his shoulder into position. I'm gonna have him just try to keep elbows at about 45 degrees, and you wanna really load the inner part of the wrist. So right now, or I'll say most of the time when people do push-ups, they don't have the loading in the wrist correct, nor in the shoulder blades, and they end up creating impingement in the shoulder. So from here, we're gonna bring back there, go ahead, a little bit more extension here. Good. So I'll bring head here, tuck chin, good. I'm gonna facilitate this a little bit, apply a little bit of downward pressure, good. Keep resisting here, make sure, breathe, pressure. And don't let me move you. Don't let me move you. So if you get in close, you can see when I cue him, you can see the shoulder blade kind of work its way around. Now from here, go ahead and give me some resistance here, so push up towards good. Now you're gonna maintain all this, and we're gonna rock forward a little bit. Push your head back, good. And then come back this way. And then we get the good old shakes coming, which go ahead and go forward. Okay, and then take a break. So it's closed chain activation, which I think is a lot more powerful than open chain, meaning give him a dumbbell and he does, you know, a serratus uppercut, or it's just moving his arms in space. If I can get him to stabilize here, it's so much more effective. And then we're gonna finish it off with more of like a posture sphinx type of thing. So we're gonna have butt on heels here, and then elbows down. So this is a really good exercise to start to really get like the rotator cuff going. So it's kind of like quadruped. We brought him down a little bit, and I'm going to add a TheraBand loop here. And so he's going to give outward resistance with his wrists, and I really want you to spread those fingers. You're holding a ball there. Good. Now from here, head tucked, chin tucked. Look down a little bit more. So it's really hard, especially in our society, to maintain your head in this position. Like when I do these exercises, this is my struggle here. So same concepts. I'm gonna give him a little bit of pressure here. I'm gonna help him get in better joint position here. Good. And then I start doing the different cues. So he's got minimal winging of the shoulder blade here. Go ahead and resist me. So don't let me move you. Good. Just because I'm leaving this right side neglected, let's get back to here. So keep holding there. Rotate. Keep that going. Don't move you. Don't move you. Chin tuck more. Head up. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. And then in this position, let's rotate head to the right. And then to the left. So now we're including some cervical range of motion in a good neutral position. And what you'll notice here is, go ahead and look down. A lot of people, when they first start doing this, you're gonna see, go ahead and look up, like towards and then bring head down a little bit. You'll start to see these bands of muscles. So when you're doing this correctly, it's a nice kind of flat uniform position here. And take a break. Okay, so this absolutely cooks all the muscles we want. Those in between the shoulder blades, so that would be like your middle and lower trapezius muscles. Those under the shoulder blade, like your serratus anterior, and then adding this band, posterior rotator cuff. At the same time, we're getting his head in position, so deep neck flexors, really good postural muscles. He's breathing and working on his core pressure, so diaphragm and abdominal wall, all at the same time in the right position. And I can't tell you how powerful this stuff is. You literally don't even move them, and you're gonna get better synchronous muscle activation with this stuff. So this is just how we would use DNS, which is all the baby posters we have in the office, and a lot of great practitioners around the world have awesome success with this. So this is how we'll include it in a treatment, whether you're just a patient or you're an athlete. I think it works across the whole spectrum and does an awesome job. If you have any questions, please reach out to us and we'd love to answer them. And If you're a patient in the office, you already know what this stuff is. If you're a soon-to-be new patient, well, you're going to learn real quick. And this is kind of how we get some work done around here. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you.